galaxy. Glue, that song stinks. It stinks. Oh, the worst in the world. Oh, we gotta get a new one. I keep saying it, but it stinks. Oh, well, guess what, guys? We're back. We're back at the old homestead here. We're in the studio. It's the Shlicketty DooCast. I'm your host, Aaron Forsyth. And I'm drinking my Starbucks. And guess what? We got the Orb of Truth. It's telling the truth today. And we got also Mr. Guy in the Square. You know him. You love him. Mike Anderson.
Whoa, it's me. Look at me. There I am.
Holy macaroons. Holy macaroons.
Right up there. Up on in the thing.
It's my first day. It's my first day.
What's the first day of what?
I don't know. I've never done this before.
Day one.
Yeah, done. I did that at a mic the other day. It's going to be my new shtick. Know what I'm going to start doing? I got out on the mic and there's people there that had never seen me. So I go, sir, I've never done this before. This is my first day.
That's the ultimate leaning into it. Being like, they don't know me. They have no idea who I am.
I played into it. I go, I'm from Canada. So everything was a callback to Canada and being my first day, which was funny. And it was an ongoing joke among the other comics were cracking up because I kept going, sir, in Canada, what we do...
You're getting sympathy as a foreigner,
right?
And you're getting goodwill as a Canadian,
right? And they're all, and the people that were the comics are like, oh, he's fucking with them, which is funny.
Yeah, that's kind of hysterical because the people that actually know you, they're like, none of this is true.
No, that he's Canadian and it's his first time trying stand-up.
But the audience doesn't know you.
No.
So it's like the ultimate lean in, you know?
That's what I know. I'm thinking of trying that again. I'm going to try that at a full show. I'm going to literally go in there and just be like, oh, God, I've never done this before. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I've never pulled papers out of my pocket. Sticky notes.
Oh, yeah. Like look at it. Hold on, wait. Just make it uncomfortable? Oh, my God, that would be funny.
The worst comic in the world.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's like they say. It's like you bomb in front of the audience, but if... you're kind of just doing it for you and the other comedians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
yeah, they know, yeah. But it's funny, if a civilian thinks it's your first time, they kind of weirdly grade you on the curve. So if you're actually... Right. So then you start killing. They're like, what's going on? Like, it's almost like a thing. You know what?
I would say, okay, tell me it's your first time, they'll give you a certain level of sympathy. And then stay at that level of sympathy until you notice things dipping. Then tell them, what was the next one? That you're...
I'm Canadian.
That you're, ride that one until it starts to go south, and then step it up to, what was the other one then?
It's my first day, I'm Canadian, yeah.
Yeah, no, there was a third one, I can't remember what the fuck it was. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just kind of, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. It'd be interesting
to see what you could push and what you could kind of get away with, you know? But either way, like the audience isn't going to get it.
No.
But they're not going to get it anyway.
No.
So,
but it was fun because as I was trying new bits and new material, if it was flying, if it was working or not, say it wasn't working, I could, I'd do another thing on yard inflatables, blah, blah, blah. I start dying on the vine. I was like, it's my first day. In Canada, what we had, and then I would go into this whole side avenue about, well, in Canada, sir, we have yard inflatables.
Yeah.
And it becomes an ongoing running, callback, jokey schmick, which was fun. So I'm going to try it for the next few shows and see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of fertile territory to sort of like line out, like the yard inflatables thing, like make it some sort of like cultural thing, like it's a Canadian thing. And people are like,
it's a new bit I'm working on.
That's not a Canadian thing. It's like, you live close to Canada, sir.
Yeah, yard inflatables, yeah.
So it's just
the premise of the bit of the yard inflatables is it's the laziest way to outdo your neighbors. When you really want to outdo your neighbors in the laziest way possible, let's get a giant yard inflatable because that's what'll do it.
Yeah, but by design, and I don't have anything against them. I like them.
You like the yard inflatable? I think they're lazy.
They are lazy, but they are cheap, right? So they're plentiful. Lots of people have them. They're large, which draws attention. They have lights in them. They're festive.
Sure.
I'm not going to buy them.
They're expensive.
But are they expensive?
They can be.
Well,
the bigger they are.
So let's say you got like a Christmas tree, like 7 feet high, like inflatable Christmas tree.
Yeah, like
what would that be, like $60?
Sure, yeah, and it comes with like a little air thing, which is kind of noisy.
Yeah, the little compressor.
Yeah.
Is it?
The more expensive ones get quieter, and sometimes I've seen ones or heard ones that actually play a little song with it. Ding, 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 ding.
That's a genius way to cover up the fucking compressor noise.
Yeah.
And it's jolly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will tell you, speaking of quiet compressors, I have an air compressor that I got from Harbor Freight. They came out with it like right before I left Arizona. It's this new series of one, and we need to get an air compressor at work. So I'm like, hey boss, look at this one. I can go grab one right now. He's like, how much is it? I'm like, $160. He's like, okay. I'm like, go get it. Right, so we're using it to pressurize the things. It's this one that Harbor Freight has.
Yeah.
It is so quiet because I've always had one.
And it works. Harbor Freight. You got something from Harbor Freight that is quiet and works?
Oh, it's great.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the.
Because I had
that's the gold
I had like
monkey
a Campbell Housefield, like a 2-gallon air compressor that I got from like Lowe's, right? Just to like do the car tires and blow up the soccer balls for the kids.
Soccer balls, and you don't have kids. You haven't kicked a soccer ball in 3 decades.
Oh my God, longer than that.
Soccer ball, the kids. I'm gonna throw it in the Yeti. We're going camping with the kids.
And the basketballs.
Right.
And the volleyballs.
You're right. The badminton set. Throw it in the hatchback. We're out of here.
Somebody might have an inflatable mattress that needs a little juice in it. I give it the yeah, a lot of the bike tires, car tires, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, it was so loud. I literally would not run it before 10 a.m. on weekends because I didn't want to disturb the neighbors.
I could see that.
It like hearing damage. Like yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, in the garage, reverberating. Oh, this new one is literally like.
Oh, that's nice,
dude. It's like a cat purring.
That'd be good. Because I think I got Ava an airbrush set for Christmas one year, and I'm pretty sure she hasn't mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure it's fucking wake the neighbors loud.
I tried to do that too. I bought an old air compressor off Learn. It was the same thing. It was like this little thing that would vibrate and like roll across. And I was like, should I like bolt it to a piece of wood? He's like, yeah, you could. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
No.
But now, like on Amazon, they got pretty good stuff. They got little little compressors for airbrush, and more importantly, they got these little airbrush booths. Have you seen these?
No.
They're like 20 or 30 bucks.
Are they like inflatable?
Wouldn't it be cool if it was? Because that's a really tiny callback. But
yeah, right.
No. But it's a real basic thing. Just like some cardboard flaps to make like a booth. Then you just get like a small AC filter, whoosh, put that in there, and it's got like a little fan.
Oh.
And so it just sucks the air from the spray booth into
it's like a spray booth, but miniature size.
Exactly. Little tabletop miniature spray booth for doing like models or like whatever the fuck, crafty stuff.
Wow.
I know.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, I was looking at getting one. And even to a degree, I kind of want to get, and they have met Harbor Freight, a mini wood lathe.
A mini wood lathe?
Yeah.
Are you really going to use a mini wood lathe?
I want to make little wooden bowls.
You want what?
Little wooden bowls. You know what I mean?
What, like marijuana bowls, or like bowls like for like salad, like pinch bowls?
Yeah.
Salads.
Yeah.
Or like a.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a little cat bowl.
Yeah. Or something like, if you cook it, you can dice shit up and fucking, you got your tomatoes and your Just little fucking wooden bowls. Just turn little wooden bowls, little fucking.
That'd be fun.
Make them ashtrays, fucking sell them if you want, like whatever. I don't know. Just crafty shit with my hands. You know me. I like that sort of shit. I enjoy it.
Decorative pinch bowls. Her and I went through the thing. We've got a few of them, but those little pinch bowls. We call them pinch bowls. They're for putting herbs in and whatever.
Right.
Give the cat a little water. Hey, little.
My girlfriend brought me one back from Brazil.
They're fun.
Like years ago.
Yeah, they're cute.
And it's the simplest thing, but it's so useful.
The pinch bowl.
Yeah, and I'm like, do some, little woodworking or whatever. But anyway, you get a wood lathe, you get a bunch of shavings popping out all over the place. So I got a little mini shop vac. It's the smallest shop vac that I can find. It's like a gallon and a half shop vac. But you can use that sort of thing with something like a wood lathe or a saw, like in a basement.
You could.
Once again, like the spray booth, you have that going with a vacuum. So it gets all the sawdust and the and it sucks it into You know.
I was thinking about it the other day. Like I was like, okay, I'm wiping up toast crumbs off the counter, and I'm thinking, do they still have the plug-in, the Dust Buster? Remember the Dust Buster?
100%.
But not like a Dirt Devil. I'm not talking a Dirt Devil. I'm not talking a big old cord. The one that we used to use in the 80s, and they're plugged into the thing.
Yeah,
they're like a triangle with a handle.
Yeah, a little handle, and it would go on the wall to charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have those?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I need one.
Yeah, Shark, makes a big play these days. Okay, my first job, I was a fucking janitor.
Okay.
I hate the design of vacuums. It sucks because it sucks through the bag. So anytime you get shit in the bag, you're losing suction power, which means immediately it's like the value of a car when you drive it off the lot.
Yeah.
It just starts getting worse and worse and worse very quickly. So I always said if I was going to buy a vacuum, I'd get like a commercial vacuum, which is the same thing, but it's easier to swap out parts and shit. Rather than being a bunch of plastic with screws and stuff like that. It's like, two thumb things, but dude, the plate pops off, pull out, swap the belt, rollers, whatever you need. But then that Dyson guy came out with those Dyson vacuums.
Well, Dysons are expensive, but they're cool.
They are. I got a refurbished one off eBay, like, I don't know, 20 years
Does
ago.
it have the circular
No,
droid
it was before
thing?
that.
Oh, it's before the droid
Yeah,
circle.
it's a DC-09. The balls are the DC-14s.
Oh.
So now they got it where it's all just the stick. It's a DC-11.
Yeah.
Where it's got the little chamber up top and then it's just a stick going down to the brush head or whatever. But yeah, they're so expensive. But
Yeah.
anyway, I got a refurbished one, off eBay, which, it works pretty good, but it gets some filter problems or something like that, and so sometimes it gets hot and shuts down.
Yeah.
But
Still, but yeah, the filters, It's all about the filters.
yeah. Well, the vacuums and that sort of shit.
I know. Well, back in the day, the old ones used to always have the bag we'd stick in the bag.
Yeah, and that's what it's the biggest pain in the ass.
Oh.
Those fucking bags.
Yeah.
Because they got
The old
weird,
Hoovers. Remember the old Hoovers?
Yeah, the Hoover. It was like a weird U-shaped bag with this cardboard collar that
Yeah,
slides
the
in a
cardboard
slot.
collar was pointless.
Because right when it comes in, it just slams into a wall that far inside it. So it's like, of course it gets clogged.
Yeah. Yeah, it's junk.
Stupids. Yeah. It did make me
Not
nuts.
good.
No.
Not good. All right, I had a question. I was going to ask you about this.
All right. Sock it to me.
Well, what was I going to... Oh. I don't know why I wrote this down, but it has nothing to do with it. I don't know why I was going to ask you this. Are you pro-cheese or anti-cheese?
Well, I'm
Big cheese.
me and my family on my mom's side are lactose intolerant.
Oh, here we go.
It's a thing.
You get farty, you get squirrely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay. all
Exactly. Exactly. And it makes me feel bad. it literally makes me feel bad when I eat it.
right. What, like you're
Yeah.
What, mentally?
Like, no, nauseous.
Oh, nauseous.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it's just-
seasick?
No. Almost like it feels like an allergic reaction. And yeah, I get it like bloated and farty and they're noxious ass farts. So
Then let me ask you this. Have you tried, well, two kinds of cheese. Have you tried, really gourmet cheese, like the real cheese, like from a cave in France?
no, because all that shit from the cave in France, why is it in the cave in France? So it can get extra moldy.
Oh.
That's the thing. I'm allergic to, dusts and molds and that sort of shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So like penicillin is not good for me.
Well, okay, here we go. Then my girlfriend, she's a vegan. She does this vegan cheese. She buys this cheese-like substance. The dogs don't know the difference. They like it.
Well, it's like the almond milk.
Yeah. Do you do the fake cheese?
I do the Kraft singles like I always have my entire life, and I always thought they were cheese because they made with real milk. And when me and my brother lived with this girl Monica that he worked with, she's like, "That's not cheese," and I'm like, "Monica, it's made with milk," and she's like, "Come here, dummy," and she turns it around. The ingredients, it says on the front, pasteurized processed cheese food. She's like,
food.
And she had like actual like Kraft singles, and she's like, "See this? Cheese." And I'm like, "Oh."
Oh yeah, so you're the Kraft singles. Yeah, that's like
not cheese.
sandwich filler.
Yeah, yeah. It's not quite as like, orchestrated and conspiratorial as Velveeta.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice, I don't know.
Then how do you get away with eating pizza? Because you're a pizza guy.
I do. Well,
Is mozzarella not a thing? Is mozzarella less squirrely-ish?
Yes, because once again, I was just raised on it. Although my mom being lactose intolerant, she would always take all the cheese off.
Yeah.
So I would always have double cheese. I'm like, give me your cheese. Yeah.
Well,
Because here's the thing that I find is, like, I also find this with, like, grapes. If I eat grapes, it upsets my stomach. If I eat cheese, it upsets my stomach. But if I eat cheese and grapes at the same time, I'm fine.
how does that work?
I don't know. They balance each other out in a way. So I think that's what happens with the pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bread and the tomato sauce and the pepperoni sort of balances it all out, so it's not too much. Like, I can do, like, mini cheese raviolis, right? Because there's not a lot of cheese in each ravioli. But, like, stuffed shells, where it's like a fistful of what kind of cheese is that? The ricotta. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, like, it's tasty, but, that just makes me sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese. Yeah, I was just wondering, because we were talking about cheese the other day. I think the conversation led, because I got the shirt, the hanker for a hunk of cheese shirt.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, don't fall.
All right. But
I remember that. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Because when I was a kid, he would say, look him up, kids, if you don't know. Those of us that
hanker
know,
for a hunk of cheese.
we know.
Yeah.
He would always say the thing about making the things in the freezer and talking about putting the saran wrap over it and then putting the toothpicks through it.
Toothpicks in the ice cube tray.
And I was always like, when I was a kid, I was like, why the cellophane? Are you eating the cellophane? I'm like, I don't get this at all.
Well, that was just to keep crumbs and shit from falling in it, right?
No, I realized later, it was literally just to keep the toothpicks from falling over.
Oh, yeah, before it froze.
Don't you remember when you were a kid? Like, somebody's mom would always try to make these, and it always had the toothpick go crock.
Oh, yeah.
At the fucking side.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so you're
the
holding it, and it's like
squares.
it's like looped off to one side, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh.
Kool-Aid in the ice cube tray.
Yeah, and it's just like sticky all over your face.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the old. Was it ABC?
Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock guy.
Back to
Yeah,
these
hanker for a hunk of
messages,
cheese
we'll be
guy.
right back. Yeah.
Yeah, he talked about, he had this stupid song, and it was always about, when you want a snack early in the morning after lunch, when you get home from school, he's telling you to eat cheese.
He's hankering for a hunka. Something to bite a chunka. He's hankering for a hunk of cheese.
The song is a flunka.
When his get up and go is got up and went, hankering for a hunk of cheese.
His get up and go must have got up and went. That's Steven Tyler.
No,
Or does Tyler steal it from the hanker for a hunk of cheese guy?
depending on when it came out.
He's all high on drugs.
Yeah.
Hanker for a hunk of cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Big cheese.
Remember all that shit with the Schoolhouse Rock stuff?
Yeah. Schoolhouse Rock is becoming more relevant now because I actually watched the one
People are
on.
getting dumber.
I know. I know. I start losing knowledge, so I have to re-input old stuff that's always been in the memory banks.
You know,
but now it's not. It's like my brother and I were talking about the conjunction junction. What's your function?
and
Hooking up trains and making them work, and using the conjunctions were trains and putting them together, and they made a song out of it. Brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of them work because they stuck.
Yeah.
Those fucking songs. Everybody knows the "I'm Just a Bill" one, you know.
Yeah, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
Sitting on Capitol Hill. Yeah. And I tell you what, my favorite of all those was one of the math ones.
Oh,
Did that just die?
the orb of truth is dead.
Uh-oh.
Ah! No. All right.
Push the
Orb of truth
button.
is dead.
Does anything happen, or it just gave up the ghost?
It just.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So let's see if a button works. Oh, there's the button. Hey, we're back on. Okay. All right.
Because I've got a little moon on my desk, and it's touch sensitive.
Yeah.
So if I put my hand down on the desk and it vibrates or whatever, or I smack the desk because I'm always tapping on shit with rhythm or something like that. Okay, it went out again.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is out of juice.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. But Schoolhouse Rock, I think, kids should rewatch those. I wonder, I should maybe ask my daughter if she's seen them. She'll probably know what I'm talking about, but she's probably like, oh,
yeah,
that's
just
old 70s and weird.
and
That's like Electric Company. That's weird.
I mean, I know people have them like all together up on YouTube. You can just go sit there and watch
they're
for
on
like
YouTube,
an hour
yeah.
and a half. You
Oh,
watch
for sure.
them all.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty fun. Not bad. No, wouldn't
Yeah.
be a bad rewatch. They are quite knowledgeable.
There was the multiplication one for the 12s. It's called Hey Little 12 Toes.
I don't remember that one.
Check that shit out, man.
Hey, little 12 toes?
I dig
Okay.
it. The first time I heard it when I was a kid, like 5 or 6, man, like, I dig it.
Wow. That one resonated with you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, look it up, watch it, check it out.
Yeah. I think the Conjunction Junction was the one that most resonated with me. Just the songs.
I feel like that one got played a lot.
Did it?
Yeah, I feel like I saw that one like probably more than any.
Yeah. And the song was like an old blues song, like it was like an old blues.
Yeah, what's your function?
Yeah, had a little bit of swing to it.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Watch, YouTube's gonna,
Oh, we're gonna get flagged on the algo?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I am a pretty dope singer, but that was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
What else? Oh, wait, I got one more. I got to ask you a question because who knows what this will bring. I wrote this randomly down. All right, Mike, check. You'll have an answer for this one. What's a franchise, any franchise, although we're not going to go into the obvious, a franchise that is better now done as a redo? Now, no one's redone the Schoolhouse Rock, so we can't say that that's better. But let's just say something that we had when we were young kids, that was a huge franchise, but they redid it and made it better.
Every time you say franchise, I think about McDonald's, Burger King,
yeah.
Wendy's.
How about we say...
Are you talking like a fast food franchise?
No. Why don't we say like...
Or are you talking like an intellectual property, like a movie, like a TV show?
There we go.
Like a pop cultural thing.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, my take was like... The remake, The Planet of the Apes, prime example. The new Planet.
You are enjoying the hell out of that.
I love
the
new
to a same
Planet of the
degree.
Apes.
Don't you also dig the Mission Impossible movies?
No.
No?
Well,
Okay.
I've only seen the first 2.
Oh, have you?
I haven't gone back. I've been meaning to, and then next thing I know, we're on like episode 15.
Yeah.
There's too many of them.
Yeah, I get it and everything. It's sort of Bond-like or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
They don't grab me, It's like, I lost touch with the Pirates of the Caribbean's, thing.
Yeah, once you get past like 4 and 5, it's like, right.
Dude, I don't know which is which. Like, I got to look at the year that they came out, Like,
yeah, the year.
And honestly, I actually did that. I was going back, because you're so into the new Planet of the Apes movies. I went back because I've always got something running on the TV. So I went back and I started with the
Wahlberg one?
Yeah, I did the Wahlberg one.
I know, it got a lot of flack, but it wasn't bad.
No, I don't understand why people get so butthurt about it. I don't think there's any reason for people to be butthurt. I think people just like to be butthurt so that they can be dramatic.
And they like to take their childhood nostalgia and say, why are you redoing it? You can't redo it. It's like when they tried to redo Ghostbusters. It's like, you can't redo Ghostbusters, it's already great.
But dude, that old one from '68, and I saw it when I was in college and wrote a paper about it and all that sort of stuff. And my whole angle on the original Planet of the Apes from '68 was that a lot of the sci-fi before that was Earth being invaded by something.
Right.
Day the Earth stood still, playing Knife from Outer Space, fucking Martians kidnapped Santa Claus, all that sort of shit. Them with the irradiated ants, whatever. But to my knowledge, and I don't know, I'm no fucking expert about anything, and this was back before the internet, so, information was scarce. That I feel like that Planet of the Apes movie was one of the first things in our space age, one of the first movies where it was us going from Earth in a spaceship to somewhere else. Like, I can't think of too many movies before.
Yeah, Journey to the Center of the Earth was kind of like that.
Well, that's the H.G. Wells stuff.
Yeah.
And he had a whole bunch of stuff. Time Machine and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But,
yeah, true.
But that was my kind of angle on Planet of the Apes was,
But I think they made them better. They finally got it right.
Yeah, so you're enjoying the new series, which I watched the one with the Franco and Lithgow.
That's
right?
the start of the one. That's brilliant. That's the start when Caesar. Yeah, that's the
Right.
birth of Caesar.
Well, Caesar's born at the end, right? Oh, spoilers.
No, Caesar was the main ape.
Yeah,
and he
but
was a little kid. He was like a little buddy ape, and Franco was his teacher.
Yeah, if there was something at the end, like no, what is it? I don't know, I forget.
No,
But
because
then
John
I think-
Lithgow was the stepfather who had like his memory was failing him, so they worked at the
Yeah,
lab.
yeah.
They had the injection.
No, yeah, I know. I just watched it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just watched
Real
it like
cool.
2 weeks ago. And then at the end of that, is that where all the primates go across the bridge, and then they get into the forest area right outside San Francisco,
Sure.
and that's where they post up and they start making their little civilization. And then in the next movie, it's like the government goes in, tries to clean them out, and so then they fucking get their shit together and fight against them, and they beat them back, and then I guess at the end of that one, they probably nuke something, because then the third one is a sort of a post-apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is it the third one, or is that the fourth one?
The fourth one is now, where we're a couple
No, I
generations
didn't see the new
past.
one.
Oh, the new one's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a couple generations past.
So the new one is the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I might. Yeah, I saw the third one. I remember
Yeah.
it was sort of a post-apocalyptic scenario. There was a group of people that were living in some sort of former military base underground or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they just did it really good. The CGI is finally
did.
to a point when it
Even in
it's
that,
perfect.
even in that first, the first one with Franco and Lithgow, the CGI and the character, like the CGI, the compositing might be a little bit off, or whatever, but it's a character, and you
Yeah.
believe the character. You buy into the character as a character, like you do for Yoda or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's everything right there, because you buy into that character.
Right.
It's like Gollum, you know?
Right.
If you don't buy into it as a character there, even though, technically it's not a photorealistic perfect, but you buy it as a character. You get it that this is all theatrics and smoke and mirror representing shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But if you can make that character a reality, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So and you could overlook the fact that it's CGI. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You
we have to in
suspend-
everything.
Yeah, because like a dragon in Game of Thrones is obviously not a real dragon,
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
That's where I think Star Wars stinks. I don't even want to go into it, and I'll get a lot of hate for this, but I think Star Wars stinks. I'm done with Star Wars.
A lot of people feel that way, but people like Andor.
Andor's good.
And people
Andor's
like Rogue
fine.
One. And
Rogue
I'm
One.
in that camp. I
I
find
am
it
too.
engaging.
And I'm with the Mandalorian. I'm there.
I'm a little bit on it. Honestly, that first season of Mandalorian, god damn. Like, I know it's like a Western. I've never liked Westerns. So I find it very slow, and like, I get the story, but I really feel like they could have told that story in like 2 episodes. Like, I feel like there's a lot of just sort of...
Yeah. And then when you get to Book of Boba Fett, it's kind of like a continuance of that.
Yeah. But I found the Book of Boba Fett sort of interesting in okay, if this is Boba Fett, what is his story? I found the whole Tusken Raider
That was
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, it was sort of really long, but it was cool because it really made sense for him as his character's journey to grow. But also, it was kind of fun to learn about the Tusken Raiders and all that.
I found that was really cool too. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
'cause
was
they
an
were always
upgrade.
mysterious,
Yeah, that was an upgrade.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of, and then and then the whole idea of, because we always get this hint of this sort of underworld on Tatooine that's run by Jabba the Hutt and stuff, but now we get to see it actual ground level. Jabba's been killed on the skiff, and everybody falls into the Sarlacc pit, right?
Right.
But Boba Fett gets his way out. That's the whole point of the thing.
Yeah.
So now there's a power vacuum in Tatooine.
Yeah.
So Boba Fett's going in there. He's getting his goddamn armor, and then he's going to take over. So it's almost like a mafia power play sort of thing, like
Sure.
a mob war sort of situation. And it's very ground level. It's very him talking to people
Yeah.
and forming these relationships with them, right? And then he's got, what's her name? Ming-Na Wen, fucking Fennec Shan over there.
Yeah.
Fucking who's just like, we can just kill him. And he's like, no, let's not kill everybody,
Yeah.
I kind of found it sort of engaging on this sort of crime heisty level.
I would have to
and then-
say upgrade, right?
And then once again, very much like Rogue One, people, don't forget, there's a scene where Vader comes into town, right? Wasn't that in there?
Yeah.
Was it?
In Rogue One?
No. No, what is it where Vader showed up in town? Was that Andor? Maybe that was Andor. No.
No, not Andor. No. He
Was
showed up
it
in
Book of
something.
Boba Fett?
Yeah, he showed up in something.
Yeah, I forget what it was that he showed up. Oh, that was the Obi-Wan series. That's what it was. Yeah. Vader had a really good scene when he showed up in there. I mean, very much in the vein of the Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. Once again, spoiler alert, go watch it. Because when Vader showed up at that end of Rogue One, that's pretty badass. But in that Obi-Wan series, they had a scene where he shows up in this little town, and he fucking comes around the corner, and he just starts fucking killing people.
Yeah.
Like, he snaps a 10-year-old kid's neck. Just like, shut up. Like, it's hardcore. You're like, holy fuck. That's a fucking villain, man.
That's what you want.
Vader never seemed that scary when we were kids. Really? You know?
Yeah. Well...
Because once again, I always thought Vader...
When we were 10, he was scary, but I mean, once you get to 15, it's like...
I always thought Vader and the Stormtroopers were robots.
Yeah, I always thought Stormtroopers were robots until they get in the trash compactor and they're in the suit.
Well, when I was like 6 or 7 or whatever, I thought they spent like, an hour ripping all the guts out of the Stormtroopers.
Oh, like scoring them out?
Yeah, like
Score
a
out the
pumpkin,
body
just pulling
cavity.
out all the robotics and wires and, I didn't know. But then again, also in Star Wars, they never had this idea of like force fields hardly.
No.
Like when they're in the Millennium Falcon in the first movie and they're shooting the TIE fighters down, it's very World War II-ish, with the ball turret gunners and the B-17s or whatever. It looks like it's just like this frame around the window. Like, is it a window? Is it a force field? Like, it doesn't look like it's anything. So it always seemed like it was very willy-nilly with, can they actually breathe?
I don't know.
But, once again, the reality of Star Wars. Like, we hardly ever see people eating. Nobody ever goes to the bathroom.
There's not a lot of food to be had. The Bespin meal was about as big as we saw. But it's just junk. But an upgrade, then a downgrade, then an upgrade again. So
there's a lot of misses that I'm not getting. The Acolyte, I'm not getting. I mean, even the Ahsoka series, I
like that.
I didn't make it through all the Clone Wars. I got into the Clone Wars when they first came out, when they were the guy who did Samurai Jack. Was that Gendy Tartakovsky? I loved his minimalist style of the animation of it and the character design. I thought it was really fucking great design work. But then they sort of canceled that, and so I was like, oh, okay, I guess Clone Wars, it's only 2 seasons, And then they brought it back, and I wasn't really paying attention, and the next thing I was like, oh, they're going to do this, and it's like a goofy animation style, it's not going to work, but next thing you know, it's going for 7-8 years, and everybody's invested in the characters,
Yeah.
And so, but to a certain degree, I'm not, because I didn't spend the time to watch the whole Clone Wars animated thing. Like, there's a lot of sort of stuff like that where it's I love animation and animated stuff, but I'm not getting into the Marvel animated stuff. I never did the Batman animated stuff. I
Too much. Too many multiverses. Let's stop with the multiverses. Let's stop. It's a reason to kind of go off script. It's stupid. Stop.
Speaking of that, I threw on Quantum Mania.
Okay.
I threw that on last night when I was going to bed.
Yeah. Well, that would make sense because it's Doctor Strange. I understand that.
No. Quantum Mania is the Ant-Man.
Oh, the Ant-Man.
You're thinking of Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But similar thematically.
Yeah. But you could almost get away with it in the Doctor Strange sense, for a while. But to change the whole trajectory of the whole series because one person, and they have their,
Yeah, that was the thing with the Quantum Mania. It got to be too I couldn't understand they're like. This is where I fell asleep because where they got shrunk down, sucked into the quantum realm.
Right.
Them and the ants that Hank Pym had. Spoiler alert. Go watch it. They first get to the quantum realm and they're like, "There's people down here. What's going on?" It's so fantastical.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, the house moves." They're like, "Oh, that guy looks like broccoli." It's so ridiculous that you have no tether to reality anywhere. It's just silliness off the charts, which, speaking of that, some of that shit in a different way. That Loki series, did you watch any of that?
No.
Oh.
No.
That might be worth a watch. I'd be curious to see what you make of it.
Yeah?
But yeah, because it's very, I mean, you were into the Marvel comic books and stuff.
Sure, I read the comic books when, in the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
Was there a Loki comic book, something about with the TVA, the Time Variance Authority or something?
Yeah, I mean, there probably was, but I didn't read it. I didn't read too much of the Thor. There's the main Thor, and then Loki was kind of popped in and out, and they would put like Loki sections in the back and little like 4-page vignettes.
Yeah.
It's
sort of cool sci-fi sort of thing where there's this agency somewhere in the universe that's trying to keep the one timeline rolling and not having it deviating into these fucking multiverses and stuff like that.
Which that's kind of a neat concept. I like the idea of, we got to maintain the one, because if we lose track of the one timeline, we're all going to, it's all going to get all tangled and twisted, and and reality is going to...
there's too many branching, divergent things, So that's sort of their whole theme on it, but they sort of boil it down to a sort of almost like a Fallout, which Fallout's pretty good if you haven't watched Fallout.
Oh, Fallout's great.
Yeah, Fallout's great.
Fallout's that's the best show of the year.
Yeah, that's really well done, Yeah, way more engaging than Last of Us. But all right, we'll get there. Where the fuck were we?
Keep the timeline
the
in
TVA. The TVA in the Loki series. So it's a pretty cool concept where these guys are there to maintain, the main timeline, but they boil it all, the mechanics of it all down to almost a steampunk or like a Fallout, with the vault tech and all that.
Yeah.
Like that sort of aesthetic, that sort of like retro futuristic sort of aesthetic, where they have like big copper machines with like levers and buttons and shit.
Yeah.
Sort of in a fun retro feel, and but they explain that like, that's all just a construct to make it so it's not scary for you humans, sort of thing.
Oh, I see. So when they're turning a wheel and letting the air out of the thing, it's like that's just the way humans can perceive it.
It's really running some quantum computer,
thing that that only are.
But there's a lot of sort of good sci-fi, concepts in there, and there's a lot of good performances.
Okay.
It's that Tom Hiddleston who does Loki, and Owen Wilson.
Huh?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson? What the hell is he doing?
He's the guy from the TVA.
Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
You know me, crooked nose guy?
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Huh.
Those two together, the whole thing.
It's not like, Owen Wilson, or is it more like, hey, it's Owen Wilson?
It's like, hey, it's Owen Wilson, and he's doing the thing where it's like, like he works for the man, but he's like, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
So you kind of like him, but it's like, well, he represents the establishment, But, it's like I said, it's worth a watch. Be curious to see what you make of it. At least just season 1. You get the idea, season 1.
Yeah, some franchise, I don't know why I call them franchise, but some creative endeavors are just not, or most of the time aren't better than the original. When they are done, I'm just talking the ones that are better.
Okay, so are we talking...
I think the Ghostbusters one is better.
Are we talking remakes or are we talking sequels?
Remakes. Fuck sequels. I'm just talking the remake, the reboot.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's since we're in the Marvel world, just for a little bit.
All right.
We're all tired of the old. Okay, let's start a new. And they do this with Batman, and they do it with Spider-Man. Let's do the origin story. Where the parents get killed. Let's do it again.
But they're very aware of that. They're skipping origin stories anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah, they definitely didn't really do it with the new Peter Parker, the Tom Holland.
Oh, good.
Spider-Man. Have you not seen those Spider-Man movies?
Yes, I have. But I'm just thinking, like it's like, all right, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, okay.
And so technically, the Hulk backstory is the one with Edward Norton and Liv Tyler.
Really? They're tying that one? They didn't make it go away?
No, that's canon. That is the Hulk origin story. Because of a contract thing with like who owns the rights for Hulk for movies.
Yeah,
that's as close. Yeah, that's as close as they can get. So that's why they use Hulk in everything else, because they can't have a Hulk movie unless they do it with whoever owns the rights. I don't know if it's Fox or MGM or I don't know.
Wow.
So that's always the thing with Hulk. But yeah, that not the Eric Bana.
The Eric Bana one.
Not that. That doesn't count.
Yeah. Poor Eric Bana too. He tried. He was just a little lifeless on the screen.
Yeah.
But the movie itself wasn't that bad. It was all right. It was cool. It was fine. I've seen it a couple times. I remember it. It was all right. It wasn't hateable.
Yeah.
But it just didn't come to life.
Yeah.
Hulk's a hard one.
Yeah, once again, I feel like you know, in the whole well, you know, I like the MCU. I like the main MCU thing. When they start to get into the whole galactic level. So did you see the Eternals?
Oh, no. Too much.
You should watch the Eternals just so you can see what's doing. I put on movies that I've seen before when I'm going to sleep at night, because that way I don't feel like I'm missing anything and I can just sort of relax and, you know, drift off to sleep. The Eternals gets put on a lot.
Okay.
Boy, that second Avatar movie.
The second Avatar movie? The latest one? Yeah, I mean, it's visually cool.
I love James Cameron, but I was iffy on the Avatar. But, you know, it's sort of all right. But that second one, man, it's like, with the kids and the flying and
the jumping and the running and the outrunning, and it was like a video game. It's like
I feel like a fucking Catskills Borscht Belt comedian here.
I know.
With the running and the jumping and the
carrying on and the kids and the skateboards.
Can't you just sit down and be quiet?
Yeah. But I know it was like geared towards 14-year-old boys. You could tell it was like geared towards like he was this close to saying "cowabunga, dude."
Oh yeah, in that second one.
Yeah.
100.
You know, yeah. It's like he's gonna skate down the whale's back. Cowabunga.
What does that mean, Dad? Oh, let me tell you.
Stop it.
Yeah, but it's good to go to sleep too.
Yeah, visually it is cool. I could see putting on a mute and watching it. You know, it's pretty cool.
No, not on mute. Because honestly, it's the auditory that I'm going for, which a lot of the times it's Pixar stuff. Because it's the animation stuff. It's constantly with the talking and the dialogue and the explaining and the, you know, because it's the audio track that drives it all forward. So
how come you just don't turn on like a Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom kind of thing?
Because I've never seen it before, and I could get sucked into the fascinating lives of jaguars on the Serengeti.
Okay, and it'll keep you up.
Dude, it'll suck me in.
The meerkat. I'm gonna watch 2 hours of meerkats.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like put on Wi-Files on YouTube, and then I'm getting sucked into the Men in Black or whatever. You know, and it's like I can't. I gotta go to sleep.
Oh, I see.
Because next thing you know, it's a weeknight. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I just finished watching a movie.
Yeah, if you haven't seen, that is true. If I haven't seen it, I'm more likely to stay awake and pay attention to it. But if I've seen it 400 times, it's like, right, in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, and that's why like I'll go on there and I'll just hair on the Pixar movies. Like I'll have to give them a break and rotate a few of them around. There's a few of those Pixar ones I just can't watch.
Yeah.
It just fucking tugs at the heartstrings too much. It's not Toy Story.
No, Nemo did it for me. Or Nemo used to hit because, you know, when you're a parent, you know, Nemo always does that.
Finding Nemo is a great one. That second one I can't watch.
The Dory one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Dory one.
Because the whole thing is because she's got that short-term memory thing.
Yeah.
And so she can't find her family.
Oh.
So it's like an Alzheimer's riff, which my mom had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It's fucking crushing. Can't do it. Can't do it at all.
Yeah.
So.
The reason why the Nemo one hit me is because not only Ava watched it on repeat as a kid, but the parent, you know, wanting to protect his child, you know, and I was going through that psychologically as a kid, you know, and when he goes, no, you can't do this, you know, yes, I can, Dad.
Yeah.
You know, I was going through that whole dynamic.
Yeah,
you know?
So that one really touches you where it's at. Yeah.
Gets me.
Yeah.
Gets me.
Yeah, and I always loved Ratatouille.
I love Ratatouille. That's probably by hands down one of my, in the top 5 movies.
Yeah, that was out when my dad's health started to go down, and I remember being like in Virginia trying to fucking triage the whole situation and.
Oh, so you don't have happy Ratatouille memories, huh?
No, I do. That was my escapism.
Oh, okay.
I would just sack out on the love seat and fucking. They'd go upstairs to bed. Everything was quiet. Go outside, fucking smoke a cigarette or 4, and then just come in and flip on HBO and oh my God, there's Ratatouille. Oh my God, take me away. Take me to France. Talking rats. Let's go.
Ratatouille's good.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm always in on Ratatouille, but I watched it a lot, so I had to give it a rest. I had to put it down for a bit. You know.
I get that.
But yeah, I like a lot of the Pixar stuff. I run through those a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's always good. You're always safe there.
You know what was great for going to... I use this for going to sleep for like 2 months one time. Was and I don't really know this whole franchise. The Transformers thing. It was the one where Marky Mark is in it, and he's like a farmer, but he's good with technology, and he has a barn, and they end up with the Transformer in the barn, and he fixes it up and makes it go.
Of course he does.
There's something about some guy dating his daughter, and the guy that was Erlich Bachman, TJ whatever, is his like buddy, his like tech help buddy, you know.
Oh, always one of them.
I can't. Last Night, Fallen Night. I don't even know. I don't even know the name of it.
I lost track of them. Yeah, I think I said the one.
But that movie, and to the same thing, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I don't know what's going on. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Those are great to put on.
Yeah, to fall asleep to. Yeah.
100%, man.
100%. I tend to. I've been known. For some reason, I always have a trigger in my head. Anything with a British accent makes me fall asleep. So I used to turn on anything on BBC. I'd watch the news on BBC or something like that, and then, boy, I'd be out in 3 seconds. Like a British anything.
Dude, remember that Sherlock series I was telling you about?
Right.
That's on Tubi now.
Oh.
Yeah, Tubi's free.
That's why you want to go. You want to take me to England. God damn, if I go to England, I'm going to be asleep on the train.
Dude.
Everyone's going to be like, they're talking. It's
well, I mean,
everyone's so pleasant.
Unless we go up to fucking like Edinburgh, and then it's more like this when they talk. You go, what?
Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That accent's thick.
I gotta open this thing. I need fingernails. All right, here we go.
Well, if you like the history and stuff, it was that.
How are we doing on time?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good. We got a few more minutes.
It was like that Sherlock Holmes shit that got me into English history. Because then there was on Netflix there was this there was a series called Monarchy. This guy went through the fucking history of England.
Okay.
From like the beginning, like, you know, the Britons and the Druids and the Celts and.
Oh, I'd be asleep in 15 seconds.
That's what. Yeah, you would, man.
Oh, let's talk about druids.
You throw on David Starkey and Monarchy and stuff? Yeah.
God, it's Novocaine for the soul.
That's the stuff I get sucked into.
Oh.
Like they got this chick, Lucy Worsley. She's the fucking head of the whole British Historical Society thing.
Oh, yeah.
So she hosts all these shows talking about, they'll do stuff like, they'll go to fucking King Henry VIII's palace, and they'll literally put on Christmas the way that it was at the time of Henry VIII. So they got the people making the authentic food in the authentic style.
Jesus.
The sort of games they play, the decorations that they have, the traditions that they have, the songs that they sing, everything. And at the end of the episode, you're there,
Wow.
like as authentic as they can get it. Because there's a lot of writing from back then.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
So anyway, if you're into this sort of history, you know, that sort of stuff, like I got real smitten with it. The Sherlock Holmes stuff took me right down the rabbit hole. That Monarchy.
Yeah.
It's like, holy cats. Like, but my mom was like that. I remember my mom was always like, I'm an Anglophile.
What's that mean?
It means you love English stuff.
Oh. Oh, I thought you just liked left turns.
Right. Yeah, acute left turns. Obtuse left turns. Yeah. Whichever, you know, whatever. They're all that way.
I'm an isosceles Anglophile.
You know, I just saw something on TV. They were talking about, you know, our numbers are Arabic numbers.
What?
Yeah. Our number system.
Our number system, zero through 9.
Right.
The number system is Arabic?
Yeah, our numbers, yeah. They're Arabic numbers. Because remember, before that was Roman numerals. Remember?
Sure, yeah. I's and V's and I's and V's and X's.
Yeah. And L's and D's and C's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was always fun on movies, you know, looking at the MCM, XL, XX.
Oh, yeah, and you'd have to do the math and you go, okay, I think
Yeah.
that's 10,059.
I was always pretty good at that.
X1, yeah.
You look at the Bugs Bunny cartoons, you're like, oh, that's 1942. Wow, this is an old one. You know?
Yeah.
You can't do math with Roman numerals.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do math with Roman. Yeah, that would be kind of annoying.
So there was a time around the year 1000 to 1200 that the Persian Islamic Empire was like the height of like knowledge and learning and science and all this sort of stuff. So they had this number system with the numbers that we use. They're Arabic
that's pretty
numbers.
Cool.
And so I was just watching, I came across something on fucking YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you write the numbers sort of like with like straight lines, you know, where you have the 1 is like the vertical, and then there's that little angle guy at the top, right? The 2 is almost like a backwards Z, right?
Yeah.
The 3 is like, you know, angle like this. And they were saying that if you do all those numbers that way, the number of angles equals the number itself. So the number 1, you've got that vertical, and then that little hat guy at the top, 1 angle. The 2, like the backwards Z, 1 angle, 2 angle. The 3, you got 1, 2, 3 angles.
They were onto something.
You know what I'm saying? And so they were showing, you can go through the look. I don't know what happens when you get to 6. They didn't show that. They showed 1, 2, 3, and then jumped to 0.
9 would be like, all right, what do we got? A squiggle here?
Yeah, because it's just that like you know, curly Q 9, right? That sort of curved 9. So I don't know how that all panned out, but that concept, I never heard that before.
No.
I don't know if that even pans out. I don't know if that's just some
I don't know how they.
internet bullshit. I don't know.
Then you got to do all the math in your head. I mean, all these countries, some got it right. I mean, well, we're in America. See, I'm from Canada. When you're from Canada, when you have to figure out what the temperature is, you have to deduct 30 degrees, 31.
It's actually, you multiply it by 9 over 5. Or 5 over 9, depending on which way you're going.
So how do you get from, if it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, how do you get it to Celsius? You got to go, it's 100.
Divide by 5 over 9.
It's 70 degrees Celsius? No.
No, you know what? I was doing that when I was working at Amazon. I was putting my little weather guide on my computer to Celsius,
Okay.
and so I could flip it back and forth and sort of see what's the correlation. So when it's, because this was out in Phoenix.
Yeah.
So when it was 104, what does that equate to? You know. So it almost turned out to where
80.
you could sort of see the patterns of like 30s is cool, 40s is comfortable, 50s is hot.
Yeah.
Celsius. If it gets to 60, you're talking like over like 107.
Wow.
You know?
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? So it was sort of starting to make sense to me and sort of break down into like these, you know, okay,
Yeah.
so if it's in the, you know, 30s, it's cold. If it's in the 40s, it's cool. If it's in the 50s, it's pretty normal. It's the 60s, it's warm. 70s, like 70 Celsius is fucking hot.
I can see it.
Sort of thing. Something like that. But I was just, you know, flipping the thing on the little weather app. You know, it was sort of fun just to try and get used to that, or, you know, I was going to try and do that, and then I was going to try and do like the metric system, but
That's a whole nother bag of hammers.
which is the only thing I get from the metric system. My mom, when we were kids, used to make clothes with the patterns and stuff like that.
Sure.
So we always had yardsticks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my brother used
Those
to
are swords.
sword fight. Exactly.
Right. Yardsticks are swords.
Yeah. So we had the yardsticks, but we had 1 meter stick
Oh, the
that
meter
was
stick.
3 inches longer and had metal caps on it.
Yeah,
I always went for that one.
the meter stick.
It was 3 inches longer. So I always remember that a meter is 3 feet 3 inches.
Ah.
So when
three-pointer.
people say someone's 2 meters tall, that means they're 6'6".
Ah.
Right?
There we go.
So at least it gives you a sort of point of reference.
Wow. Well, let's leave them with that.
All right, there you go. A little nugget of knowledge.
Yeah, a little nugget of Canadian knowledge. Take off, eh? To the Great White North. And we're gone. Goodbye, everybody.
Galaxy Glue.
It's my first day.
What would we do without Galaxy Glue?